When I published Fearless Writing, I completed the draft or the manuscript and sent it to the editor, who went through it and did her thing. She marked it up in the Word document, sent it back to me. Now, if you've ever worked with an editor in Word documents or with coworkers, you know that you might be familiar with track changes, which every time you make a change, delete a word, add a comma, put a word in, shows up in red, and then there's a little mark on the side of the document to show what has been changed. And this she did. And, there was a lot of little changes. So every page had red, red, red all over the place. Okay. My job was to go through and accept or decline all those changes because in the end, it was my name on the book. I was the author. I had the final words. Okay. So I started with chapter one, started going through. And so every single little change she made that was highlighted in red, I would say, I'd read it and say, okay, accept change. And the red went away. And then it was just a regular black letter, black letters, black word. Next one, accept. Yeah, I accept. I accept. A lot of changes, but I read each one because, again, my name on the manuscript. I should say, so accept. Finish the first chapter. Ugh, took a while. That was kind of boring, kind of tedious. And I said to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go up and accept all changes. That's an option you have. Just click accept all changes, which I did. And so suddenly all the red went away, whoosh, in the whole manuscript. And it's just black letters throughout. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it. And if I see something I don't like, then I'll make a note. And so I did. And I went through. And two things happened. First of all, I did occasionally come across some sentences that did not say that she had changed in some way, probably rephrased it, added a word or two, that it wasn't just that it wasn't in my voice, but it said something I didn't want it to say. It inferred something I didn't want it to infer. In a book like Fearless Writing, I had a very clear idea about what I wanted to say about talent, about success and failure, about belief in oneself. And so if I felt it inferred something, I got in there and said, no, it can't go this way. But for the most part, everything read fine. And in fact, I couldn't tell always what she had changed and what she hadn't. Even if she had added words or rewritten something. And sometimes I came across a sentence that I thought was maybe probably had been altered by her in some way. It felt just a little different than mine. But I would have had to have changed it, not because the meaning wasn't right, but because I just wanted to put my stamp on it because I could recognize that it was a little bit more her effort than mine. But I decided it wasn't worth it. It didn't matter to me. I didn't have to own every sentence because in the end, I didn't really know exactly what was just mine, quote unquote, and what was hers. I decided it didn't matter. I liked what I was reading. And I think it's a good practice for publishing that experience. Because in the end, once we publish our work, we're giving it away. In other words, yeah, I want people buy it, but it's their book. They get to read it the way they want to read it. They get to think of it what they want to think of it. And as an author, you have to give up a kind of ownership of your work. Yes, you have the rights and the royalties, blah, blah, blah. All the legal rights are yours. But the book itself belongs to the reader. You know this on some level. And I think it's hard for some writers to accept that. They accept the changes in the manuscript, but to accept that the reader really owns it. It belongs to them. They get to think exactly whatever they want about it. So I was glad to have had that experience with the accepting all changes because it was the first step in giving it away and releasing my complete grip, kind of ownership I have when I'm actually working on it sentence to sentence, word by word. It was the first gradual release of it, which I think every author has to have in order to share their work comfortably. And I will say, I think sometimes if we have trouble publishing our work, it's not because people don't want what we're offering or because we need to write better stories. Excuse me, but because we're unwilling to share it. On some level, we can feel that we're unwilling to share it, and so we hold back, and something in us blocks people from having it. So, in your mind, as you get ready to share your work, picture giving it away to the reader, letting them have it, letting them think what they want about it, like what they like, don't like what they don't like. It's okay. Give it away. Give it away. It belongs to them. You wrote it to share it, so share it. That's what we're doing here. We share what we love. That's how you grow it in the world. That's right. That's how you make the world a better place. Hey, thanks for tuning in. As always, thanks for listening. If you like it, subscribe. And, also, if you like it, say so. I do like to hear from you. So, till next week, this is Bill Kenower. Stay fearless.